Welcome to our executive interview series at AI Talks, presented by AI Scoop. I'm Wyatt Kasher, and we're here with John Larson, President and Chief AI Officer for Babel Street. John, thanks very much for joining us.
Great to be here.
A couple questions I'd like to explore with you. One is, what separates AI programs that deliver real mission value from those that stall after early experimentation?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is what I'm going to characterize as AI adoption. It's really important to think about how AI is going to fit into the overall process. If you build a solution using AI and you bolt it onto a process, it's always going to fail. It's got to be embedded in the actual framework or cycle of work that individual is going to be using AI to complete. And when you do that, you create and engender trust, right? And you create adoption because it's embedded in the system and it's part of their overall workflows. That's the key to success. It has to be part of the overall framework. It can't be thought of as an afterthought or something that sits on the side. Integrated into the ecosystem, integrated into the enterprise is how you ensure the highest degree of success.
And then what role do data readiness and data governance play in whether an AI initiative really succeeds or fails in government?
Yeah, so this is something I'm really passionate about. Babel Street is a massive data company. It's part of what we do is we bring together data. And so data is the lifeblood of all AI. When we talk about AI today, it's data that's really fueling it and informing it. And there's several factors, I think, to ensure that's successful. The first is you have to connect data. We live in a very, very data intensive world, and bringing all the signal together by connecting data is paramount. This is something I think the government struggles with because of all the data silos that they've created, and is going to be critical to the success of AI across government. Something that we do explicitly in our business model is think about how to connect data to understand risk and find insights by integrating different data sets together and connect them so that you can create that insight that really informs the decision at the moment. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing is that you have to have very sophisticated data factories, data refineries. So data is great, but in its raw form, it doesn't add tremendous value. You have to think about the ontologies that allow you to connect them. You have to think about the refinement of it, where you normalize it, standardize it, clean it, and then how you're going to enrich it. And when you combine those two things, right, the connecting the data with the factories that refine that data, that's where you create the value that will allow those models to really have insight that's differentiated.
And lastly, given Babel Street's global view of what's taking place with AI and the explosion of data, what do you see as the biggest risks that maybe we're not seeing yet?
Yeah, so I think the interesting thing with AI right now in this industry is it's sort of a double-edged sword, right? So on one hand, AI is creating a real increase in risk. AI is empowering and democratizing capabilities. And so you think about things like cyber criminals, right, nefarious activities. Generative AI has democratized those skill sets. It's enabling those actors to not have to be experts in that field, but to be able to harness the power of these tools to go propagate bad things. And so on one hand, it is creating, I think, an increased threat vector that we have to deal with. But on the other hand, it's giving you the tools to synthesize information, to understand what's happening across an ecosphere at a scale that never could have been done before. And so there's a real AI arms race that's going on between the bad actors and those who are trying to thwart them. And that's what I think is really exciting, is how do we stay ahead of that? How do we ensure that we equip the government and our customers with the most leading edge AI possible to ensure that they can mitigate those risks? They can understand them, they can perceive them early, they can connect those dots that allow them to defend against those risks, and then they can action on those risks as quickly as possible. And I think when we do that, that's how we win that AI arms race.
Well, John Larson, thank you very much for joining us here at AI Talks.
Thank you so much. I enjoyed it.